By the way, we don't.
Can I have a motion to approve the prior minutes from March 13th? Minutes from the prior meeting.
See you next week.
All right.
See everybody next
Thank
week.
you. Who motioned it?
Me.
All right, second. Any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So next, review the mission statement with the 4 different options.
Oh, yes.
I'll let you lead this.
Okay,
I won't
did you
let
have the,
You will.
is the handout? Oh, sorry, thank you,
Yep.
thank you. So, we talked about internally, the fact that our mission statement has been the same for, I would imagine, since our inception as an organization. Although,
No, it's changed.
It's changed, okay.
a couple times.
I don't know when's the
Been
last
some
time we updated
iterations,
it.
yeah.
There've been iterations,
Yeah.
okay. And it's a good mission statement, it's stood the test of time. But we thought that it could be fleshed out to incorporate the work that we do through our microloan program, the fact that we, as a corporation, for many years have been so focused on workforce development and upskilling Monroe County's workforce. So I took a stab at some possibilities. And they're all laid out here on this document. Personally, I like the option 1. I think it's solid and clear. I was intentional here to incorporate workforce, micro lending, entrepreneurship, small business, that type of language in all of these. So perhaps it's best to just go right down the list here. Option 1, the Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation fosters economic growth and opportunity by providing access to capital, including microlending, to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, and established employers. Through strategic investments in workforce development and business expansion, MCIDC promotes job creation, retention, and the long-term prosperity of Monroe County and the greater Rochester region. That qualifier there at the end is to indicate, sort of nod towards the fact that our 504 portfolio touches the surrounding counties in the metropolitan statistical area. Second option, MCIDC is committed to strengthening the economic well-being of Monroe County and its surrounding communities by empowering businesses and entrepreneurs with financial resources, including micro-lending and targeted investment programs. MCIDC supports workforce training initiatives that align with employer needs, drive job creation, and enhance regional prosperity for all. Option 3, the mission of MCIDC is to advance sustainable economic development by providing financial resources, including micro-lending, to small businesses, entrepreneurs, and nonprofit organizations. MCIDC supports workforce training programs that prepare individuals for in-demand jobs and invest in initiatives that promote job retention, business expansion, and the overall economic vitality of Monroe County and the greater Rochester region. And option 4, MCIDC is dedicated to fostering inclusive economic growth by equipping businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs with access to capital, including microlending. MCIDC invests in workforce development to ensure a skilled talent pipeline for regional employers, creating sustainable jobs and expanding economic opportunity throughout Monroe County and the greater Rochester region. So some options for...
They all say the same thing?
They kind of all say the same thing in different words. I just realized that option 4 doesn't exactly incorporate nonprofits, but...
In terms of the business that we do with bonds, so fostering economic growth and opportunity to provide access to capital, that would cover that, wouldn't it?
Yes, technically, we
Yeah.
could include nonprofits, we could include the word bonding, but yes.
So number 1 is good for me.
Okay. Yep.
And are we good with in the greater Rochester region, or should it be more specific to?
So
The counties.
Yeah.
I think Greater Rochester region is fine, because it's just the mission statement. I think. I mean,
We specifically changed the mission statement to add surrounding counties when we took on the ability to take on, to do loans in the other counties.
We could say surrounding counties.
That was all, I didn't
Yeah,
know how much it meant.
I don't think it's required.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm just asking the
Yeah.
question, how much does it mean?
Yeah, in my opinion, you don't need it, but surrounding counties or, Rochester region is fine,
Okay,
whichever folks prefer.
Yeah, I think the Rochester region is important because, we took over the 504s, from
Yeah.
the city of Rochester.
right. Greater Rochester Enterprise uses Greater Rochester region to describe the 9-county area, instead of,
Well, then that's good then.
yeah, that's why I used that verbiage specifically. And just for some context too, this stems from the comptroller's office, the authority's budget office. They put a lot of weight and emphasis and importance on our mission statement. We're not always thinking about our mission statement every day, but when the ABO audits an organization, looks at an organization, they cross-reference everything that you do with your mission statement. So we thought it makes sense to dust off our current mission statement and make sure we develop a new one that's more in line with our current line of work.
So micro lending is fairly new in the last couple of years. Do we foresee this happening for the next 10, 15 years or beyond? Or
Very good
It
question.
was the idea,
Yeah.
after
No, I
the,
think
after the
it's
initial
great,
funding
but-
stopped, that it would be a self-funding
Yeah.
going forward.
yeah. Alright.
Lending to small businesses, which can be micro lending and it can also be 504s.
Okay.
Kind of along the same lines that Zach was asking, because I had that question too, but again, we're getting into the weeds here, so this is just a mission statement, so I don't want to overcomplicate this. But when we say Greater Rochester region, we can only micro lend though to Monroe County businesses, so I don't know, should we remove that? I don't want it to look like, hey, we can micro lend to the Greater Rochester region when we can.
504s, we can.
504s you can, you could potentially through, various things, although you don't, bond finance things that are headquartered in different areas. The microloan has to be headquartered in Monroe County, for that to be eligible. So the microloan is not intended to have the money go to
Right.
Seneca.
So you're correct, Brett, and I think
Well, but once again, the 504 loans, it has, greater capacity to,
the whole region,
Yep.
right?
do the region, so. you
I
keep
think it
in there.
covers-
It's just like you said, if we get into the weeds of this here, I think the mission statement explains.
It does,
And if someone comes to ask about it, then you can explain it. But
right.
I think that you've got it covered
Thank you.
in terms of.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Brett, you made a good point. You're absolutely right. But I think, yes, the mission statement can be interpreted to, it doesn't specify that MCIDC is micro-lending in the surrounding counties. It sort of glosses that, well, it's a little fuzzy, but you could say, well, we say MCIDC
Yeah, if somebody
promotes
challenges it,
prosperity.
We just stick you on it.
Yeah,
You challenge
exactly,
us on it.
right.
Listen, ChatGPT
Yeah.
put this together. We don't understand.
Right, exactly.
The reason that
Put
I
in
would
the
say
buzzword.
number one is that I think all of the options basically say the same thing, or
They
they're
do.
trying to say the same thing.
Yeah,
But it articulates, I think, almost every, financial tool that we have at our disposal and how it's distributed.
yes,
That's how I get it,
yes.
yeah.
Thank you. And again, it's anticipating that, maybe we get audited at some point by our friends in Albany, and we'll be able to point to an updated mission statement that more accurately reflects our current portfolio of work.
So what happens with this, once we do this, we put it on our documents and everything else like that, is there some type of new announcement, a drum roll or something like that, or is it just?
Tony will get out his drum set and, no, we just update our website, we
Okay.
update our bylaws, anywhere where the mission statement is currently written,
Okay.
it will be.
So in the parish
updated.
report every year, there's a specific question that calls out has the board reviewed its mission and mission statement on an annual basis? And we always say yes, and then it says, has any changes been made? We
Right.
always say no, and this year we're going to say yes.
Good point.
That's good.
That's in the Paris report?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I'm gonna move on for 1 second really quickly, that affects the measurement report, because they're kind of tied together. And so, the measurement report that you're gonna see is the current measurement report, and we're gonna actually recommend changing that in the future, but we didn't wanna change it yet until the mission statement was changed, so this will be the last time you'll see the measurement report that looks like this, and then we'll come back to the committee with an updated measurement report that more reflects
Yeah.
what we just changed the mission statement to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It just the timing was off.
Well, Zach, so at the committee level here, if we push this forth in terms of a recommendation, I'm quite sure we're gonna get a little feedback from the board. And they might look at some of these other options and may wanna weigh in. And that's why I'm saying, let us at least try to take one of these options and recommend them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a frame there, you know?
Yeah, well, I agree with one, but I also agree that they're all similar.
I mean, they all say the same thing.
Yeah. And yeah, to my question earlier, yeah, the micro lending, yeah, it's just broadening the definition and it encompasses everything we do.
And we could even change, it doesn't have to say micro lending, it could just say lending, you know? Because we're lending in a wide range of amounts. We've got the
Small
revolving
business.
loan fund and we've got micro
Small
loans.
business lending.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So including lending instead of micro lending?
What's wrong with micro lending?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can keep it, yeah.
think it
It's sort of,
differentiates.
it's sort of new,
Yeah.
and it acts as a tool or an option, you know.
Right, shows that we're open for business to
It
very,
also
very
shows
small
that you don't
businesses.
have to go before the board to get approved.
Yeah, right, right.
Should we have the word not-for-profit in there?
I might consider that, yeah.
To support small business entrepreneurs, established employers, and not-for-profits?
Yeah,
That's a
Add
good,
that in?
yeah,
Cause that would include bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
if everyone's okay with that in option one, including nonprofits. Thanks, Robin.
That, I think, covers everything now.
Yeah, I like that.
The whole kitchen sink.
All right, so, yeah, if everyone agrees, then, motion to recommend to the full board, option one, updates the mission statement and we'll add nonprofit to it. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
All right, can I have a second?
Second.
All right, any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. And now, we're gonna review the missions, the measurement report, right?
mm-hmm.
Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. Did you see that? I made that
Yeah.
little error.
Yeah, that's okay, I skipped over that.
Thank
We'll
you.
just go to the measurement report.
Yeah, this is just the standard report that we've been giving you every year. I mean, it's very similar to what's in the annual report that Anna gave in January. And then that, part at the bottom. About the integrity, transparency, we consider ourselves to be very transparent.
We consider ourselves,
We are, let me rephrase that. We are transparent.
There you go.
So are you handing that out, or?
Oh, I didn't even hand it out, I'm sorry, I'm sitting here looking at it, thinking you guys are all
Very
following
transparent
along
over
with me.
here.
I'm
Just
sorry.
vote on this, move on, move on.
Well, she said she considers.
No, I forgot to hand it out. I was wondering why no one was commenting on anything. Sorry.
Just kidding.
My bad.
Thank you. There we go. Okay, thank you.
Did you do the board training before? Did you like 2 or 3 hour board training?
Yeah.
First one?
Yeah, are there any questions? Robin, I haven't had a look at this yet, but it looks good to me. It tracks with what I've seen on our dashboard internally. Does this need to be approved by the committee and then
Yeah,
reviewed by the full board?
yes, it's, like I said, it's basically, we go to the annual report and then just move the numbers over here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that the large driver of this total number of projects was the growth there is a good chunk microloans, right?
Yes.
And the investment, programs were all up. The great rate, the great rebate, all those programs were all higher in 2024.
Rates are up.
Did you send out an updated motion sheet with this on it? No, okay, sorry. Because I'm just looking at Zach's motion sheet and it didn't have.
It's on there, but I had the motion, I had the word
mission
wrong.
statement.
I said mission
Oh,
statement twice
got
instead
it.
of measurement report.
All
Got
right.
it,
So I guess, does
Sorry.
anyone have any other questions on this?
got it.
So then we'll recommend to show this next week.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
So a motion to recommend to the full board the adopted, measurement report.
So moved.
Second.
Any abstentions? All right, all in favor? All right. So next, review the bylaws. There's one change.
Yeah, it's more of a technical change. In our bylaws, there was a specific reference to when the annual meeting was going to be held, and it was December. And historically, we had occasionally not held it in December, and January. Yeah, we're not far off. But we thought it would be best just to clarify that we can hold the annual meeting once a year at a time, basically of our choosing.
Makes sense to give us more flexibility.
Yeah.
December's like, it's very stressful trying to get like everything done, and for her to give an annual report, like we're not even done with the year yet.
Right, yeah.
And people are busy because it's
Well, let me
December
tell you
and
holidays.
something,
close of
Elaine
the
used
year,
to do
right?
that single-handedly, so I'm not gonna, go along with you with that, how stressful it is. Elaine used to handle that every year, on time. We were somewhere.
Right, I
Doing
know.
something, you know? But no, to your point, yeah, we should have flexibility.
Okay. Yeah, any other questions about that? 'Cause it makes sense. All right, so next motion is to recommend to the full board, re-adopt the bylaws as presented with the changes to the annual meeting date. Have a motion to approve? All right.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All right, any abstentions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So next is the governance committee charter. There's no changes recommended by the staff. So the charter, I need a motion to make no changes. Motion to recommend to the full board re-adopt the governance committee charter with no changes.
Motion?
All right, second?
Second.
All right. Any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. And then review policies and procedures. There's, again, motion to recommend to the full board, reapprove all policies and procedures with no changes. Do you want me to read all?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, okay, all right, so, yeah, motion to recommend to the full board, reapproval, all policies and procedures, no changes.
So move.
All right, second?
Second.
All right, any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then review summary board evaluations.
Yeah, we're not done with that yet, we're waiting, I still need everybody to turn in their forms, so we'll
we'll review them next week.
hopefully,
Yeah.
assuming that we get them, or well, as long as we get a majority back, we'll be good, review. We'll go right to the board for that.
All right, any other business? All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All right, second? Anybody?
Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
I need, that was interesting about you mentioned about the RD&E board.